Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to talk about another problem, which is more fragments of a watch. So this is, I would say, the second version of the earlier problem we discussed, where we had a clock, analog clock again, as you can see on your screen, analog clock again. I have to mention, this is basically a typical watches which you would see in your office, but they're not digital ones. Like, they have 12, 1, 2, 3 so far. Just put it out in a circle and you have two hands which are missing here for sake of simplicity. Anyways, it basically breaks into 6 pieces for whatever reason. And earlier we had a problem with 3 pieces, but this time we have a problem with 6 pieces, okay? And the constraint is again the same. The sum of the numbers on each piece is equal. So what that basically means is if you have, let's say, 6 pieces, and you can denote them by say P1, P2, all the way to P6, where P1 is basically piece 1, and similarly P6 is piece number 6. So you have 6 pieces here. And what we want to make sure is the numbers printed on each of these pieces, if you add them up, their sum is the same. Okay, so again, I would encourage you to now pause the video and try some of the steps that we had done in the last problem and see if you can come up with an answer. Okay, so I hope you got to the answer, but just in case you didn't, that's perfectly fine. We'll try to solve this again. And if you got it, just hang on to the end of the video to see if you got it right. Okay, so first step I would say, and again, this is probably one of the first hints, is again, do what we did last time, is basically let's first of all sum up all the numbers. Sum of all numbers is 1 plus 2 plus 3 all the way to plus 12, and this is 12 into 13 by 2. As you know, there was a formula we discussed last time, and this is 78, and it's not going to change because the watch is still the same. For the sake of comprehensiveness, I would basically simply state the formula again. If you sum up the numbers from 1 to n, and this is going to be equal to n into n plus 1 by 2. This is a series formula, and what I've written here is, this is a summation sign, which basically is a short form for saying add up the variable I when I goes from 1 to n. So what that basically means is it's basically summing up 1 plus 2 plus 3 all the way to n. Why? Because first value I takes is 1, which is right here. And the second value I increases by 1, so it takes a value 2, you add it up, and then 3 all the way to the final value, which is n. And the answer is going to be n into n plus 1 by 2, which I've already talked about. Okay, so now let's go back to solving this further. Now we know there are 6 pieces, so the sum of the number on each piece is going to be simply, the division of sum of all the numbers by 6. So what we'll do is we'll just simply say it here, the sum of each piece is 78 by 6, that is 13. So now this number is 13. And I would say now is a great time to, again, pause the video and try finding these pieces. And remember last time, we had mentioned the direction to pursue was this, okay? So try to see if you can find pieces in direction something like this, or, the angle could be slightly different, but I think it's more or less like this. Something like this, okay? So see if you can find pieces following this kind of a direction to see if you can find 6 pieces, and so that the sum of each piece is 13. Okay, so I hope you got the answer, and I'm hopeful a lot of you will get this time. But just in case not, that's perfectly fine. It happens, given you especially doing these puzzles for the first time. But let's now get into see if we can, solve this. So like I mentioned, we need to find pieces in this direction. So let's see if we can find piece which adds up to 13. So if you see, very quickly you can see the first piece you can find here is 12 plus 1, right? And this adds up to 13. So this is definitely one of the pieces. And let's see if I can find the next piece in a similar fashion, because now, as I said, if this is the first piece, this has to be taken off the watch. Now the remaining watch is simply all of this, okay? So let's see if we can find the second piece. And hey, very quickly we see there's another piece here. That's 11 plus 2, and that's also adding up to 13. Okay, that's great. So piece 2. 11 plus 2, 13, very good. And let's see the next piece. Can we continue? Oh, actually, it does. So look at the power of this approach here. Very easily you find pieces which is adding up to 13. And this is a case. Again, 9 plus 4, P4, 9 plus 4, 13. Similarly, P5 and P6. You see all of them actually, the numbers add up to 13. So there we go. We have very quickly solved this problem with 6 pieces formed as you can see on the screen, and that concludes your answer. All right, so I hope you liked this video, and in case you did, please like the video and also comment about your experience, and we'll see you next time. Thanks again for watching. Thank you for your time. Take care.